Prince Harry returned to the UK quietly, hoping this trip might mark the beginning of healing. A few low-key meetings, maybe a handshake with his father, perhaps even a step toward reconciliation. But instead of warmth, he was met with silence. And not just from palace aides or the press, but from the very institution he once served with pride, the military. As Harry walked past rows of uniformed soldiers, something striking happened. No salute, no nod, not even a glance. For a man who once wore the uniform, who served 2 tours in Afghanistan, and who was once cheered as a soldier prince, the silence was deafening. The moment was caught on video. It spread across social media within hours, transforming what could have been a private visit into a public reckoning. In the military world, a salute isn't just a polite gesture, it's recognition of rank, belonging, and respect. And in that instant, Harry was no longer recognized. The symbolism was brutal. The prince who once stood tall in his blues and royals uniform, decorated and applauded, now passed by as if invisible. For many, it was a gut punch. Whether you support Harry or side with the palace, there was no denying the sting of that image. Insiders say this wasn't a spontaneous snub. Guards don't act on personal grudges. This was protocol. Deliberate, precise, and calculated. No fanfare, no salute, no acknowledgement. The message was simple. Actions have consequences. And that's where the story deepens. Harry didn't just step away from royal duty. He stepped into something else entirely. High-profile media deals, Netflix documentaries, explosive interviews, and a steady stream of criticism aimed at the monarchy. To some, he was finally speaking his truth. To others, it was betrayal. This trip was supposed to be about peace. Quiet talks with King Charles, perhaps a step toward repairing the rift. But that's hard to do when even the guards treat you like a stranger. And hovering over it all was Meghan Markle. Even without being physically present, her influence was felt. For many critics, she remains the symbol of Harry's departure. Some blame her for the split, others praise her for helping him find freedom. Either way, her shadow lingers in every headline. It wasn't just the soldiers who kept their distance. The entire atmosphere was stripped of royal warmth. Harry arrived without a motorcade, without official ceremony. The palace released no statements, no flags were raised, and staff were reportedly instructed to keep things strictly professional. He was treated not as a returning prince, but as a high-profile guest. Observers noted Harry's body language, smiling politely for cameras, but tense beneath the surface. Hands clasped tightly, shoulders stiff, missing the confidence he once carried as a working royal. He was walking through familiar territory that no longer felt like home. When the footage hit social media, reactions were fierce. Millions watched as soldiers stood stone still, ignoring Harry as he passed. Some called it disrespectful, but most saw it as poetic, a silent message that tradition had turned its back on him. Behind closed doors, things weren't much better. Harry reportedly met with King Charles, but the meeting was short, carefully controlled, and far from warm. Just tea, no cameras, no official acknowledgement. Insiders described it as transactional, polite but distant. He wasn't treated as an enemy, but he wasn't treated as a son coming home either. Meanwhile, Meghan's absence raised even more speculation. Some said she stayed behind in California to avoid drama. Others believed it revealed a permanent split between her and the monarchy. Regardless, her name dominated headlines just as much as Harry's. And when it came time to leave, the tone hadn't shifted. No farewell, no salute, no send-off. Just a quiet exit under the same shadow that followed him in. The silence spoke louder than any statement. That's the quiet cruelty of royal protocol. You're not publicly punished, you're simply ignored. And for someone raised in the heart of that institution, being erased is far more devastating. Public opinion remains divided. To some, Harry is a rebel prince who dared to challenge outdated traditions. To others, he's a privileged figure who abandoned duty and is now facing the consequences. But no matter where you stand, the power of that moment is undeniable. Soldiers standing still, a palace staying silent, and a prince caught between two worlds. For Harry, this visit wasn't just about family, it was about identity. The soldiers' refusal to salute was more than a protocol decision. It was a reckoning, a reminder that in the world of monarchy, respect isn't permanent. It's earned, kept, and reinforced through loyalty. And if you step away from the crown doesn't follow you. As one royal commentator recently put it, the monarchy doesn't chase you. If you want back in, the door is there. But it does not swing open on its own.